What's going on, people? Welcome to the United Stand. This is United Talk, and today told you we've got a special guest today. You guys know the face, you know the name. Man like Matic, man. How's it going, Adam?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. A little bit better than I was yesterday, but I've had a sleep on it now, and I'm sort of slowly coming around to what was going on.
Yeah.
It's not a good time, is it? But we're used to it now, aren't we?
Do you agree with him? Are we used to it now? Losing, what is it, like 7 losses in 9 games? That's a lot, man. What about you, Said? How are you doing today?
I'm still hurt, man. I've come into work this morning, man, ducking the Man City fans, you know what I mean? They're coming left, right, centre. Man's been ducking it, bro, but I'm just gutted, man. You know, yesterday, man, it was a sombering moment, man. It was a moment just to reflect on how far behind we were, man, and how far behind we are to them noisy neighbours around the corner, man. Because for me, man, you know what I mean, I wanted to just show something, man, something that we're on, something like, you know what I mean? I thought, like, to the point where we could get a little victory, like, you know, we're the underdogs. Yeah. I was like, come on, we're Man United Football Club, man, and we're underdogs against Man City, man. But just shows how far we are. And it's just sad, man. It's sad state of affairs, man.
It really is. And I was going to say, it's not really a reality check because we've had so many in the past few games. I mean, Barcelona, Everton, even before that, we've had so many reality checks. Was that, let's say, the nail in the coffin yesterday?
Yeah, for me it was. I said it outside the ground. It was like 3 years in a row now we've been schooled by Pep. I don't think it matters who's in our dugout. When it comes to Pep, he's just a step above, and the squad that he's got there. We were talking earlier on, it's like we all had a little bit of optimism going, and you usually do the match day vibe, thinking something could happen, and then as soon as it kicks off, it's like, reality kicks home, and it's like, you know what's coming. It's like as soon as that first goal went in, I think everyone around me was like,
they knew.
That's it, it's over. Simple as.
Yeah. One guy in all the headlines yesterday, even this morning with the whole PFA Team of the Year, Paul Pogba. Now, some of us like him, some of us don't.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on him? Would you want him to stay? Would you want him to go? What are your clear thoughts on him? Because there are people that are, in between, and they say, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? But would you want him to stay or would you want him to leave?
Of course, man. This guy has to stay, man. This is paramount. Paul Pogba, whether you like it or not, has to stay. There's one issue. If he wants to leave the club, and he wants to leave and say, listen, I want to play for Real Madrid, then open that door wide. Open it wide and let him go. We don't want people who don't want to play for this badge and don't want to play for this club, to say, oh, dilly-dallying around, you know what, 300k. Listen, mate, out the door, see you later, man. There's players come and gone, you know what I mean, from Man United Football Club, and we've always gone on. United will always, you know what I mean, never die, as the quote says, you know what I mean. But Paul Pogba, man, you go out there, you tell me where Paul Pogba is right now. Tell me, there's a lot of maverick player out there who can do everything, bro. Can box to box, you know what I mean, is tenacious, you know what I mean, can get the goals in 19 goals this season, all competitions, man. Come on, man. I feel like there's an agenda against Pogba, man. Yesterday, the only person for me, that looked dangerous for me. Yes, let's be real. But then again, the problem is the quality around him is absolutely shocking, man. You know what I mean? How many times yesterday did he have the ball, and then he look up, and then he found no one running, no one making, you know what I mean, meaningful runs, and then people are slating him for hogging the ball. Yes, he can hog the ball. What's he going to do? You got to pass back. No, man. He's trying to look forward. You know what I mean? There's been performances. I'm not going to come here and I'm going to defend him and say, Everton, it was poor. And rightly so. I said it was poor. But the fact of the matter is, you keep your best players. Man United need to keep the best players. If you want to build, you keep your best players. Hazard, how many years has he been toiling around Real Madrid? But Chelsea, what have they done? They kept him. Unless Real Madrid come up, say 300 million or 200 million, then see you later, man. Because I want this guy to stay, man. World-class players stay at your football club. And for me, if he goes, man, I'm gutted, man. Let's be real out here. I'll be gutted, man. Because Man United need their best players. And for me, you got to build a team around Pogba. We haven't built. We brought Matic here. You know what I mean? My man's over here, but we haven't built around him, man. We got Fred. I love Fred, but I don't know if it's that Man United, the quality we need. We need a box him up midfielder, someone that can sit, a Dombele kind of type, who can sit but also can play the ball. You know what I mean? We need another midfielder. Herrera's leaving. We need someone that can do something like Neves kind of thing. Go and get Neves, man. See yesterday, ball, free kicks, left, right, centre, man. Go and get him and box to box midfielder that can play. So for me, Pogba has to stay, man.
What about you, Adam? Pogba in or Pogba out?
It's not a case of in or out. It's if he wants to play for United. For me, I agree with Said on that point there. Where I can see the argument for and against him, though. Now the fans would see it. It's like little things with Pogba. That interview that he did, that they were talking about in the Sky studio, that was forced upon him. You could tell he didn't want that. You could see it in him. It was obvious. You can see by a person's personality. It's like the little things he does, walking out 3 meters behind everyone else. Look at me at the start of the game. People pick up on little things like that about him, and you can see how someone's personality can affect how some people looks at him on the football pitch, and he's not ideal. People don't take to that sort of person, especially not the old school fans, especially at our club. They would have him out of that club tomorrow if they could. His work rate isn't fantastic, but on the ball he's the only one in that team who can do it. I was watching David Silva yesterday track back and making slide tackles. The guy's aging, mate. He's mustard.
He's in his 30s, isn't it?
Yeah, Pogba wouldn't do that. I've not seen him do that. He's done it a couple of times, made a couple of tackles, but to be honest, he needs to have the right team around him. At Juventus, it was perfect for him. He had the ideal setup. The pressure wasn't as much in Italy. Even on international football, if you've got that midfield and that forward line in front of you, I mean, let's not compare our front line to the likes of Griezmann and Mbappe when they're playing for France. He looks a different player. I think someone tweeted to me the other day, it says, let's put him up in the international team and see if Henderson and Milner can run a game like Pogba would in the international team for France. It's a no-brainer. Pogba's going to run it all day long, but is that the problem? Is it the team around him, or is his head elsewhere? Because if we don't make the top 4, then is he going to be thinking, you know what, this isn't for me, this, and we can't be hanging around another season of a player who's not going to want to be there. It's the same with a couple of them, but I can see this, the for and against with Pogba. For me, I want to keep him. I think we should be building around Pogba, but if he has got any slight doubt about not playing for Man United and putting that shirt on and giving everything, then you're out the door, mate. Simple as.
I couldn't agree more with you, man. I think if he wants to stay, then by all means stay, but then put in 100%, because I love the guy, man. I want him to stay. I want us to build the team around Pogba as well. But I do understand the frustration sometimes, even though there are a couple of factors where you said sometimes he has the ball, doesn't know who to play it to, and I said it yesterday as well. Like, no one's moving, there's no one showing that he, I want the ball, give it to me and I'll do something. And then he has no choice but to play backwards and recycle. And that obviously annoys the fans because they want attacking football. They want us to play forward and stuff like that. So I do understand it. Onto other players now that might not be performing so well, like Pogba maybe. Rashford and Lingard. Rashford and Lingard, guys. I think we can agree. We can agree on the fact that they've not been performing well for the last 2-3 months now. I mean, what is the future for these guys, man? Do you see them in the future of Manchester United?
If you scroll down on the videos on United Stand here right now, you'll see my fan cam come up from last night. Look at the title, and you probably won't need to listen what I'm about to say, because Lingard the Ghost is my new nickname for him, because he's just not there. He might as well not be there, because he hasn't got a turn of pace, it would seem. If we're comparing him to, and we're talking about where United should be in terms of the top 3, let's compare him to a player from Spurs, Liverpool and City. For me, if you look at their teams, it's Sterling at City, let's say. That's what you're comparing, not in the same league. You go to Liverpool, what is it? Firmino or Mane? You know what I mean? God forbid. And then you're going up to the same sort of positions for Spurs. What is that? It's Eriksen, it's Dele Alli. And that's what we got. We are where we should be. If you looked at that, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the pundits or someone said, it might have been on the radio. If you had to look at it now and say, where do you think United should be with the team that we've got? Where do you think we should be? It's where we are now, to be honest. And the likes of Lingard, it's like you said, that Lingard, Rashford, they're academy players, and it's this whole argument. It's people are only on their side because they're academy players. Martial's getting more stick than them. It's, to be honest, he gets dug out more, but he gets dug out only as much as the people who are actually on his side, Martial, in sort of actually protecting him and giving him an actual excuse. All of them are as bad as each other, mate. It's not just one. We've got a front line, 5 forwards, say Lingard, Martial, Rashford, Sanchez and Lukaku, who are all having their worst period in their careers right now at the same time.
That's actually crazy to think that we've got 5 forwards and none of them are performing.
They're all having the worst ever part of their their worst time in their career is right now at United at this point. You cannot argue against that. They've never been as bad as what they are now.
Yeah. What about you, Said, man? Rashford and Lingard, because obviously they both come from the academy, and some people do have that soft spot because they come from the academy, the Manchester born and bred, and do you know what I mean? So, but where do you see them in the future? Because they're not performing. So can we rely on a Rashford? Can we rely on the Lingard? Because I've already said it. Lingard is 27 this year, and you can't talk about your potential forever, man. At some point, you have to be at your best. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to tell, man. Even Rashford, the guy that we all fell in love with when he first burst on the scene, a double against Midtjylland, brace again against Arsenal, and he kept scoring, a goal in the Manchester derby against City. What happened to him now, man? What's going on with these two?
I don't know, man. 20 years ago today, we had York and Cole up front. 20 years on, we have Lingard and Rashford up top, man. That's a travesty, man. That is a, you know what I mean? It's a shame.
It's two different generations, though.
Yeah, it's two different generations, but I'm just trying to compare the levels where we've come, man, and how far we've fallen, man. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? The two, you know what I call them? The two headless chickens,
I mean,
bro, man.
To be honest, you don't even have to go that far back. 2008, 2009, Ronaldo and Rooney.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Tevez. You know what I mean? The four, we had Berbatov, Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney. We had them devastating 4 year, and now we got Rashford, Lukaku, Martial, and Lingard, bro. You know what I mean? And Sanchez, but I don't even count him, man. Yesterday he had one touch.
I've seen the heat map. I've
15
seen
minutes.
the heat map. Yeah, one touch.
That is absolute. When I seen that, I wanted to just verify if that was actually real or not.
Do you know when I seen that, I actually thought it was a joke.
Serious, man. Oh my God, man. Man United Football Club should never ever rely on Rashford and Lingard to be up top. Is Lingard a striker? No, but that shows how poor Lukaku is. How is he not playing in a Manchester derby where we bought him for 75 million? That is a joke, man. We got Martial. Yeah. We got on the bench here, but none of them are performing. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is playing a bunch of bad strikers, and he's thinking, you know what? Can I just play myself up front? You know what I mean? Like
substitute himself in like Giggsy did.
Up front, get a late.
Won't do a worse job, would he? Really? Let's be honest. It's got to a stage now where you're thinking, why not put some of the young players in, because they're not going to do any worse, are they?
Yeah, young players they're known for being fearless. They just try, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
You might get a Rashford sort of scenario like when he first came on the scene. It might see us through to the end of the season, because all we're looking for now is just give us something just to cheer on these last few games. Just give us something to go into the pre-season with a little bit of hope, because I was saying before, then it's like we've got that forward line there, mate, and it's like the last when was the last game? It's like been the last 4 games of. We ain't scored a goal from open play. That's 4 games.
I've seen the minutes, something like 526 minutes.
Wow, and that with that forward line on paper, if you looked at that at the start of the season, you'd go, oh, yes, here we go. I remember when the team got mentioned, I think, for Everton. I was walking into Goodison Park, and it was Martial, Lukaku, and Rashford. I thought early in the season I've been drooling at the mouth at that. Now I'm like, oh no, I'm a bit worried now. That's scary.
Do you know what it is, man? Laporte and company could not have had the easiest game. I remember one point,
definitely.
Fernandinho was so close to Edison, but he had the nerve and he had the audacity to pass it. And I was just thinking, what are we doing, man? How are they toying around us, man? They sucked us in, Rashford and Lingard, just, you know what I mean? Just little kids, man. That's what they do. Yeah. When you're a little kid, you get sucked into the ball. They got sucked in, over the top to Gundogan. Gundogan just went, you know what? I'll move with this ball, move, and then that's how they build up the attack, man.
And I remember that because I was standing, I was sat in the East Stand.
Exactly.
And it was right in front of me.
Exactly.
Do you know sometimes when you press teams, they tend to get nervous and lose the ball? City, you could see no signs of nervousness. No signs. They were just knocking the ball around. Edison back to company back to Fernandinho, Laporte.
It's a training match.
Triangles, and just easily.
It was a training match for them. Let's be real out here, man. That was probably easiest as Man City going to get game. They was meant to come here, and the 3 points on the line for them to win the title. But it looked like we needed it more. You know what I mean?
We gifted it to them.
We gifted that 3 points to them. We should have made it so difficult, to the point where when they come out there sweating, they did not break one sweat. They absolutely did not break one sweat, man. You know what I mean? But then again, man, Man United Football Club should never ever rely on Rashford and Lingard. I love them, you know what I mean? They come out of the youth academy, you know what I mean? That's what the club's all about, man. The Dele Alli Football Club. Yeah. But come on, man, there's levels out here. Man are bringing Jesus and that off the bench. Sane, they had Mahrez, you know what I mean?
Mahrez didn't even play. Like, they can afford to leave Mahrez on the bench for a whole Manchester derby game. Like, that's crazy.
Bro, the guy didn't even have his hood up. You know, his hood was still up, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how he didn't even come out the bench and do a warm up. Mahrez told him, Pep told him, let's just stay there, mate. We don't need it. Yeah. We don't need to bring that quality. Yeah. Sane's enough, and then that's it. Job done, 2-0. Bye-bye.
I mean, it just shows the amount of quality City have and what quality we have on the bench. Like the gap is just so big. Like, what can we do to solve this problem?
We can do like what City, as hard as it is to say, follow City's blueprint in terms of structure, because Pep Guardiola came in, they went and got Pep. He was touted for coming to United. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually looked at United and thought, you know what, this is a bit of a sinking ship here. I'm not going to get what I need to do, what I want to do, because he went into City and they went, yeah, whatever you want, yeah.
Exactly.
And what did he do? He absolutely broke that back line to pieces. Fans' favourites, they all went, didn't they? Zabaleta, Kolarov, Sagna, Cliche. It was even Joe Hart. The whole back five changed in one summer. We ain't going to do that. We know that. We know ours is a longer process, but there's a blueprint there to actually look at and go, director of football, who knows the manager, who's going to work with the manager well, and then just make sure the ethos and the actual style of play that the club has been brought up on never changes. Because every club that has had a director of football, the blueprint's been the same. Real Madrid's style of football never changes, no matter who comes in. If it does, the manager goes.
Exactly.
Barcelona, when have they ever changed? How many managers have they had? Yeah, it's not Pep style football, but he had an elite team when he was at Barcelona. That was the best team ever when he was at Barcelona, but the style never changed. The personnel changes, but that's what United went wrong with, and we've gone so far behind because we made that initial mistake when Ferguson left. And now everyone's blaming the manager every single time, and it's not about the manager, it's about what's happened beforehand and how we've conducted ourselves in the transfer market and the scouting system. Where is it? For God's sake, it's just not there, because I was talking with Paul the other day on my channel, and he was saying the same. He says, where were United when Van Dijk was going? We've needed a centre half for 6 years. Where were we when he was at Celtic? Southampton.
Very good question.
2 chances there. And you've got to start looking at the likes of the way Liverpool and City, they're our local rivals, and the roles have completely reversed on us now, and we're suffering for it. We're getting what we probably deserve for the amount of stick we give them lot, but they are getting it right. They're buying players to fit a system, to play one position. How many times have we seen our players play in all sorts of positions this season? Because we haven't got a settled team. We haven't got players. It's round pegs in square holes, isn't it? Every single player. I mean, how many positions has Ashley Young played this season? Lindelof now. You know what I mean? They're all over the place. Which side? Who plays on the left up top? Who is that? Who is that player?
No one knows.
It's like, who is our striker? We don't know anymore. It's like we don't know. The only position we know is David De Gea, and I'm even worried about that now.
I mean, the scouting system is a complete shambles as well. I read something this morning about when City played Monaco in, what was it, quarterfinals of the Champions League? I know what you're going to say,
And
straight after the game, when City crashed out, Guardiola went to the director of football and told him, I want Bernardo Silva. That following summer, they bought him for like, what was it, 50, 60 mil?
Yeah.
Straight away.
Not expensive. They haven't broke 60 million on one player, have they? They just look and they scout, and that's their structure. It's 30, 40, 50 million players, not one big 100 million bang. It's a squad that works for a system, and that's where they're prospering. There's not one superstar in that City. You ask any City fan who their favourite player is, they couldn't pick, because they play as a team, and that's exactly what we don't do. We're individualised everywhere. It's like someone was talking today about, it was Max Beasley on Talk Sport, United fan, who's talking about when a goal goes in now, it's about an identity on a celebration rather than, yes, goal, here we go, let's go again. He says, and he's one of the old school United, what I would call one of the old school United fans, and he's saying, that's not United. That's not United. I've heard that so many times. What is United now, though? That's the killer question. We've fallen behind modern football, and it's going to take a lot of work to get back to it. We've just got to unfortunately, try and catch up with the others and copy a little bit of their ethos and their structure and what they're doing. It's the only way.
You just mentioned an interesting word there, work. Something that Ollie is going to have a lot of this summer and for the next summers to come. Some people say that his appointment was too early. What do you think about it? Was it too early?
I don't know, man.
Was it a rash decision by the board to sign Ollie permanently?
Nah, man. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, man. You know what I mean? At that moment, that buzz, yeah, I've never felt like that in a couple of years, man. I never coming out the ground, Ollie's at the wheel, you know what I mean? Crowds buzzing, the fan cams, everyone out to the fan cams, we're all buzzing, man. Not even a seat, yeah, was empty. You know what I mean? It was absolutely wonderful, and we were playing just worthy football. We were playing absolutely mediocre, low block football under Mourinho, and this guy come up, breath of fresh air, come out the United way, attack, and then you're thinking, you know what? They've got the position. We didn't know it was coming. You know what I mean? Ollie, it come out of nowhere, Ollie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted Pochettino to start, but Ollie came over, breath of fresh air. I thought, you know what? Why not? But you get any manager in world football right now, and they come to Old Trafford, it will not improve. It will absolutely not improve unless the people above them get their fingers up their arse, and sort this club out. Sort this club out to where they belong, man. Absolutely crucial we get a director of football. And no Mike Phelan, none of that. You need Paul Mitchell as someone of the calibre that knows the football club and can get this a clear strategy where we need to build on. What players need to get rid of? What players do we need to build on? Where can we get the top talent in Europe or in the world, in fact, and get them to Man United? We don't need to be second best. If Dele Alli is up for sale in the summer, and Barcelona are touting around, listen, United need to be there first in line. First in line, go get him. Go get Dele Alli. Why? Oh, it's Barcelona set a target. I was thinking when De Jong went to Barcelona, I was thinking, why has he just been let to go Barcelona?
And that deal was done in private as well. It was a surprise.
You know what I mean? But
structure again of the bigger clubs, like we said. This is how they do it. They scout early, deals done, then they're there for the pre-season, which is why I don't think the timing of Ollie's appointment was bad. For me, Ollie might not be our long-term manager, but Ollie right now is who we need. He understands what United are. Right now, he's seen what this squad can do. Because we had another manager coming in the summer. I've said it so many times on fan cam. They said we got to go on pre-season. He's then got to come back, be introduced to the players. Before you know it, season starts. There's another year of Young, Smalling, and Jones. Right now, we know, and Ollie knows exactly who is worthy of wearing that shirt next season. He's seen it already. He's in his head now, and I'm convinced. Right now, since his appointment was announced, we've gone downhill, yes, but I think he's already rocking the boat in terms of shaking people down behind the scenes, because you can see it. That does not go like that. It's like Herrera, he's disappeared off the planet. We don't even know where he is. Is he injured? I mean, for one thing, another, we don't know.
Nuruddin, man. Man's Bilbao with Nuruddin, you know what I'm saying, man? It's mad.
Enjoying life. And you mentioned a player there, Dele Alli. I read something time ago where it said that we've had report after report after report about Dele Alli. Why did we not get this guy? And apparently those reports were ignored by United. Just ignored.
We've got Ed Woodward, that's what we got. We've got a financial guy who's got no footballing knowledge, who doesn't have no scouting system, who doesn't have a director of football in place, who will only focus on the footballing side of the of the game. And he'll say, listen, he's got knowledge about football, I'm going to let him deal with it. I'll deal with all the financial stuff and getting them, you know, with the best contracts and the best, you know, sponsorship. I'll deal with that. Let this guy deal with the footballing side and go get Dele Alli and go get the top talent in Dombele. But what will happen is Ed Woodward will go half-hearted. Then Leon will be like, oh, do you know what? Dombele's free. But you know what? Because you're so desperate, we're going to give it for 100 million. Even though another club will probably be scouting them properly and going in the right manner with the director of football, going in with the right talks, and then you know what? It's not desperate. You know what? Yeah, I'll have him for 50 million. Half the price, same player, but always Man United. And then when it flops, Ed Wood will sign it for 100 million. I feel sorry for Fred. I absolutely feel sorry for him because people are slating him now. But I see the player in Shakhtar that was absolutely brilliant. Random midfield, box to box. Dangerous free kick taker, you know what I mean? Had assists in there, had long shots, had everything in his locker to be a Man United player. But it's been hung out here to dry because he's got inadequate players, he's got absolutely average players around him. And I'm sorry, man, Matic and all them kind of players, they're not good enough, and they shouldn't be around Fred. You know what I mean? But the matter of fact is, we need a long-term plan. We got to ride out the bad times to get to where we are, man. And if it's gonna take that long, yeah, I'm gonna be here. But will they be here, man? Will the Glazers stick around?
Yeah.
Will Ed Woodward get his finger up my ass and do it? Because we'll be here week in, week out singing, man. But these guys need to deliver, man. They deliver for our team because we've been signing mediocre players, man. But now it's a time to sign the right signings. The right signings in the key areas. Right back, whatever, you know what I mean, centre midfielder, striker. For me, I'm looking at the goals, man. Defence will always fix itself up. You know what I mean? Shaw will come of age. There's people that will, you know what I mean, step up.
Yeah.
But the striker, for me, attack wins you games, man. Yeah. And for me, Liverpool, that's how they're getting away with it. Van Dijk's good, but he's playing with Matip, Robertson, you know what I mean, Alexander Arnold. They're not world class, wholesale, you know what I mean, names. But they've got devastating front three who wins them games.
Yeah.
So when they go 3-0 up, they can afford to concede one goal maybe, and then squeak up on time. But then on the other side of it, Salah's nicked another one, and then it's job done. So
definitely, man. The scouting needs to be better. And if you look at the list who we just mentioned, the guys in the semi-finals of the Champions League, 19 years old, captain of Ajax, which is a traditional club in Holland, traditional club in Europe as well. The scouting needs to be better, man. That's the most important thing now. We would like to take some questions, guys, but because of time, we're gonna have to wrap it up. Just before we leave, though, Chelsea on Sunday. Are you confident?
why?
If there's one team, well, there's two teams around us who are probably in just as bad a position like us. It's like Flex said it the other day, didn't it? It was like there's 3 bottle job teams in the league, and who is the bigger bottle job? Is it? Because we were saying before, Andy, Chelsea and Arsenal are at a disadvantage because of that Europa League. That's our only hope. Yeah. And I was saying I have no issue at all in thinking that Arsenal and Chelsea are going to bottle this. The only problem I have is, like I said, we haven't scored a goal from open play in 4 games. Can we trust United to step up when they mess up? Because every time the door's been open, we've just tripped up and we've not managed to get through it. You know what I mean? They keep giving us a chance and we keep falling on our ass every single time. Confident going into weekend? I'm not 100%. I've got a slight hope because Chelsea are probably just as bad as us at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
That is it.
What do you think about Chelsea on Sunday?
Do or die, mate. Absolutely do or die, mate. If there's a game out there, if you couldn't perform for a Manchester derby, please, this is your last chance to perform against Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea, for me, they got tougher fixtures than us. They got Watford at home and they got Leicester away. I think on the final end of the season. Yeah. But for me, man, if you win that game, the biggest incentive you have, go out there, go give the fans what they deserve. But the matter of fact is, can we rely on our top 4 strikers? Who is Ollie going to pick now?
That's the big question now.
You know what I mean, man? Who are we going to pick? The midfield and defence can sort itself out, but for me, up top, man, we'll keep dilly-dallying around, swapping and changing, man. For me, what I'm going to do, and this is no thingy, go play Martial and Rashford up top. Them two there, I've got a good connection. They've got good, chemistry. Go play them out on top there against Christensen, who's, I don't think he's good, that good to me, me. Yeah. David Luiz on his day can do anything. Yeah. So go out there and absolutely run them ragged. Absolutely. I want us to play 3 at the back. Chelsea are going to play 3 at the back, 3-5-2, and let's go out there and give the fans what they want. Yeah. On a Sunday and finally get some goals at Old Trafford. Because man's been bored out there, man. Absolutely bored.
We can just Mike Bassett it on Sunday and go 4-4-2 and just go play with some wingers and just go and do an old skill. What the hell have we got to lose? Because diamonds and 4-3-3s are not working for us. Forget the diamonds, you know what I mean? You can't polish your turd, mate, can you? At the end of the day, it's a famous saying, but just go for it, you know what I mean? If we don't go out and attack these next 3 teams now, then there's no excuse. There's no excuse at all because we can't defend. One thing we have got in our locker is some potential up front. We have got potential up front. Yeah, they've been diabolical recently, but this is a chance now. We've been given a second chance. I'm confident. No, I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm expecting them to surprise me. I want to be surprised, but will it happen? I don't know, it's 50-50 game completely. 100%.
Exactly, man. I agree with you guys. Where can we find you on the socials, Adam?
Twitter, Adamstott30, and obviously my channel is Mad Red United on YouTube as well. Check it out because I've got. Have you all seen recently another a United stand favourite in Paul, who's going to be popping on quite a few times. He's absolutely revved at the moment. I can only say the messages I'm getting off that guy at the moment are off the scale. He needs to be on camera.
What about you, say the socials? Where can we find you?
You know where to find me on YouTube, United Central, match vlogs, match reactions, everything on United, and realist_when7 on Twitter, man. At me up there, man.
Yes, guys, make sure you follow these two guys, and make sure you follow me as well on the socials, Twitter, YouTube and Instagram, Mr. Aaron UTD. That was it, guys, from us today. Thanks for joining me, Saeed and Adam.
Thanks,
We go again.
We go again on Sunday. You both going to be at the ground, yeah?
We will, yeah.
Man,
All right.
always.
Going to be
Are
there.
they there, though? Are the club there? That's the problem.
That's the big question. We're going to be there, but are the players going to be there? They're going to be there, but are they going to turn up? That's the question. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's road to 500k. Incredible, man. The channel keeps growing and growing. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, make sure you check out the fan cams from yesterday, Flex's review, and we'll see you at the ground for the fan cams.
Peace.
See you. Peace.